from Creators Outlet, and we're back with an old friend. Not as old as me. My hairline goes all the way to the back. Yours only goes partially up.
Yeah, right. Mine's staying right here for now. So
Staying right there for now.
Yeah, it is awesome to be back. It's been a couple years, and I had to do about 200 some pages of artwork before I could come back. So
It's been a while, but Sig and Joe, the comic that we once read in goofy voices on a Facebook stream, is now a full graphic novel. Plus, you got a couple of more books, and there it is.
Yep, right here, 200 plus pages of black and gray action and silliness.
And it's black and gray because
I am colorblind, so I can't do the fancy pro coloring, and I don't have the money to pay someone to do it. So,
and hey, what were all the best indie books back in the 80s?
well, yeah, it does have that kind of indie old school feel whenever all of the indie books were not in colored, because well, when you print in color, it adds like $5-6 per book in the cost. It's amazing how much it goes up just adding color printing onto it. So
you've done a couple of pieces in a pretty cool art book for Sinopa Press on the D&D side of things.
yeah, I was in 2 books of Dungeons and Dames, which I'm really happy with. Some really beautiful artwork on that one. I don't think we're going to be doing a Dungeons Dame 3 though, because it was just a lot of money to put that book and everything together. I did a 31 page one shot for the Antarctic Press Ninja High School 200 anniversary Kickstarter edition.
Nice.
I did a 8-page story for Antarctic Press's Penguina #2 called Penguina Adelaide, and I also did a 17-page one shot called How the Squirrels Saved Longview, which I'm turning into a full-blown graphic novel right now. So it's I've been busy.
You've been busy, and you're on a. We're both on the same journey. The lose the weight and
That's been rough.
Live a few more weeks.
Yeah, that one's been rough. I've been hit a plateau this entire month and a half, and I don't know if I'm at a calorie deficit too much, or if I've been a keto flu, or what the deal is. But I'm gonna have to start rearranging some stuff to see if I can start getting back on track, because I haven't lost. I lost 36 pounds to begin with, and then now it's been just like the last month and a half has just been stagnant while I work out and everything. So I got to figure out what I'm doing wrong and shock my body back into losing again.
Was when before I got sick, I had a boss that used to bust my truck. He goes, "Geez, how much do you weigh now?" I'm like 350. He goes, "In your left leg." Turns out he was pretty spot on, because
Yeah.
when I died and they boom me back into a coma, I was apparently about 690.
Oh, it creeps up on you fast. Like you when I first, my biggest was 355, and I didn't find that out till I was in medical assisting school, when we got to the labs where everyone was doing height, weight, and like blood pressure checks. And my blood pressure was like almost stroke level, and I weighed 355 pounds. And I was just flabbergasted. I didn't realize I was over 300. I did. But then when I look back at it now, I really do feel that. I like, okay, yeah, I was terrible. I was practically fucking dying. So yeah, it sneaks up on you quick. I'm still 300, like I'm like 301, 305, but I'm trying to break that mark and get back down again to around 250, but it's been kind of a slow go lately.
Was all proud of myself, and then you said 355. I'm like, Son of a bitch. I was all proud. I was down to 354.
No, you should be proud. That's good. I mean, you've lost what, almost half of what you were. And
Yeah, I lost the whole person.
yeah, that's a great progress. That you should be super proud of that, and just keep moving forward on it. Are you are you doing a special kind of diet? Or are you just eating less carbs and calories? Or
Yeah, I'm cutting out like carbs, calories, doing shakes. I'm on the G1P. I'm on Lyrica.
okay, right.
Um, but it's been at like the same level for like almost 2 years now because my doctor's a quack. Uh, but um, we'll see. I thought I had lost some more weight, and then I got on the scale and found out I put on like 5 more pounds.
Yeah, I hate scales with a passion.
Hmm.
I think they're evil. You fluctuate up to 10 pounds in a day just from water retention or along those lines. So it's so hard to get a
Yeah.
decent, consistent measurement of that through weight. I try and right now to stay off the scales and just do tape and measuring, but it's you go in to see the doctor and they weigh you there, and I still sneak onto a scale every once in a while to kind of see, like, I don't feel like I'm making any progress, so I double check. But yeah, it's scales can be a real demotivator if you're not careful.
Like women.
I 100%.
So you're doing the exercise thing, you're dieting, you're feeling better,
Yeah, I've been a
which is
little bit
good.
lethargic lately, but I don't know if that's what they call a keto flu, because I've changed my diet up to pretty much mostly just protein, and I'm eating only once a day, a big meal for after I get done working out. So I might have to do some adjustments on that because I might not be getting enough calories, because I have a pretty active job and I'm working out 4 days a week. So you've got to be careful. How much do you need for a baseline calories? And right now I'm doing less than 2,000, where I might need to bump it up to like 22, 25,000, 2,500 calories. So I've got to try to work on that, because I don't have as much energy as I think I should have. So I either have to start slowing down what I'm doing at the gym, because I'm essentially powerlifting at the gym, or I'm going to have to adjust my calorie, or my calorie intake. So I'll be working on that here the next week, trying to figure what's going on with that.
Just I do two sausage links, two eggs scrambled, um, and a couple of scoops of Greek yogurt.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of Greek yogurt too with blueberry or blackberries. I'll buy like a bag of frozen blackberries, throw some into the Greek yogurt. Blackberries are really great for a carnivore diet.
Anything frozen's a little tough for me because I got no teethus.
Ah,
So,
yes.
like, how do you like your steak? And go in a blender.
Period, as much as possible, please.
You know. So you've got the book in. How have you been getting it out to the masses?
Right now, the first print order, I didn't check my digital proof well, and there's actually a page missing in the back of it. It's like just a straight up white page in the back of the book. So I got another 20 coming to me. 6 of those are going to go to a local comic shop. I've already got some people who want copies of that I've been giving out of this one, and of the when the new ones come in. I have a market in April where I'll be doing selling books and artwork there. And then in May 1st, I plan to launch a Kickstarter for the graphic novel. I'll have one variant. I'm going to add some pages on it, a sneak peek of the squirrel book that I'm doing next. So it'll probably bump it up to closer to 250 pages. And I'll get it all dressed up and nice, and then with the one variant cover, original artwork, and I want to try to see how Kickstarter does, because I built up a little bit more of an audience on YouTube. I have a Discord now. My Facebook is much more active. I'm doing almost daily shorts on YouTube. I've been kind of slacking as of late, like every other day, or maybe 2 days in between. And I have some people who are following me now, so it'll be interesting to see, because the first time I did Kickstarter, it was for just the first issue. I was charging $10 for each book, and that's for a 44-page floppy plus $5 shipping, so it's like $15 to get a floppy. I'm going to be charging $20 for these with the $10 shipping, so it's going to be a much better deal. And with the way things are kind of right now, with everyone kind of pulling the purse strings tighter, I'm hoping that it's a little bit more successful, being with a bigger, bringing a bigger audience in, and also with more bang for your buck. So you're going to be getting a thick graphic novel. The artwork's done, the volumes, the first arc is there, and I plan to do that with all my future projects. Is they won't go to print until I have the entire first arc done. The Squirrel book won't go to print till I have the story done, which is going to be around 70 to 100 pages. I will be putting out floppies on Global Comics, but I'm not going to be doing printed physicals, because it's just too hard to get the price point to where I think it's justified to buy the book. I understand why people charge what they charge, but for me personally, it's like it's really hard to push a $7 to $10 black and white floppy when Marvel comics are $5 a piece. It's hard to talk to people about it. When I was trying to sell Sig and Joe issue 1 and 2, a lot of people were like, well, I'd rather just wait for the graphic novel. A lot of people have told me that, both in person and also online. So I'm going to be, since I can do it, since I'm doing my own artwork and everything, I plan to try to do more graphic novels from now on, and just leave if you want to get a floppy printed, then if a publisher picks me up, they can do it, because they have much more of a ability to do that than I do. So
The option, places like Comics Wellspring, where you can make it available digital, and if they want, they can buy a physical copy, and Comics Wellspring will print it and ship it and everything to them in the Gemini.
Yeah, they're getting ready to. I don't know if that's fully available yet, but they do have a print on demand that they're getting ready to launch here pretty soon, if they haven't already. Where it's like
they have already. I've gotten stuff from them before.
Oh, okay, cool.
And I back ordered a couple of things from Sinopa from there too. So
okay, cool.
And there was a creator, this young kid out of Alaska, who had done a few books, and he did like this samurai book that was amazing. Like, only a couple for his like second book, and it was only like a couple of steps down on the level of like a lone wolf and cub kind of,
okay, cool. Yeah.
with the art and stuff. So I'm like, I back the first one, back in the early days, when every time somebody came on, I could have that book. Crap, I can't pay my fucking rent again. We gotta stop doing this.
Wait, it gets hard to. I mean, I don't even. I have over 100 pledges to books and Kickstarter, and I'm called a super backer on there, but I haven't been able to recently, just because it's just too pricey and money's too tight right now. I got my own stuff to print out and get done. I can't afford to be doing $25, $35 floppies right now. It's just
I'm still waiting for stuff that I backed like last year. Which was I'm sure you can agree, Fire and Ice is awesome.
Yeah.
The movie, because it was the anniversary. So, and this is going on like over 2 years now, but through Dynamite they released a miniature tabletop game.
Okay, cool.
And they designed it where it's got it's got dual roles. You can play it as a board game, or you can play it like as like kind of like a Warhammer Minis kind of thing. Um, they're finally shipping the the big box of them from China, uh, and they should be. Well, same thing with the. I backed like 3 omnibuses last year
Yeah.
at different points. One because one was Nexus, Mike Barron and the Dude.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah, I've been lucky. I've only had I think 3 books out of all my pledges not get to me. And but yeah, it's so aggravating when it's always funny. The books I haven't gotten are all pros. Like they're pro creators who used to be in the business, who came out to Kickstarter, and all of them have ghosted their backers, and it's just very infuriating that I'm some small guys getting me their book, but then a pro is up on Twitter every day tapping away, and can't get my book, and it's just I can't get a refund, I can't get an answer from them, no updates, just pretty much ghosted. It's ridiculous.
Life pros that have done that and then have canceled the project, kept all the money, and then turned around and start emailing people to back their next project that they're not going to make either.
Yeah. It's like, how many times can I fool these people into giving me money?
I mean, so I got Nexus Volume 1 in, and I got it on I bought the early bird special. I couldn't wait. I go, well, I've got 30 days to come up with this $90. So, and I got it in, and it's just like drop dead gorgeous. If I had had the money, I would have just paid up front because Mike's gonna do 4 volumes
Okay, yeah.
of Nexus, and the 4th volume is going to include all the newer stuff that he's been doing with other artists.
Oh, badass.
So it's going to have that and like extra stuff from the Dude. Plus, I buy stuff from the Dude too. I've got an oversized Nexus graphic novel over here that's like signed by the Dude. I've got his hardcover art book signed by him with, pencil pages, ink pages, full color, ad stuff. It's just gorgeous. The only other 2 books that I was like, I got to get this. One, Alex Toth. They Alien Books got the rights to make the complete run of Zorro that he did.
Okay.
And they colorized it, but the way they colorized it, it made it look like back in the day. It looks like it came off like a 4-color campaign.
Oh, that's cool.
They offered the black and white, so you could get the original black and white art from him, or you could get it colored. I took the colored, but they all come in. They're all hardcover slip cases, of course, with the mark of Zorro cut out of the side of it.
Oh, that's cool. That's nice.
That one and the other one, loving the original Valiant back in the day. Alien Books put up a Kickstarter and they did the complete run of Harbinger in 1 volume.
See, that's the kind of stuff that I love about Kickstarters, getting those kind of cool one-off hardcover slip book cases that are all nice, or those special Kickstarter only omnibuses or along those lines. I mean, that's really the great stuff that Kickstarter's for, in my opinion. And I absolutely love getting that kind of stuff.
Well-known publishers to go on there and charge you like $1,000 for a big name run like a G.I. Joe or Transformers.
Yeah.
We're going to collect it all, and you're going to give us $1,000 a piece.
Yeah, we'll see how well that works.
They did it.
Yeah.
It funded in like 45 seconds. It was crazy. I mean, I was excited when I first saw it because it's retro, so you get excited. You know, part of your childhood is coming back. And I looked and I go, oh, you can buy one set that's done up like Autobots, or you can buy the one done up as Decepticons. And then they do it again because Transformers also had a UK run, which is 100% different from everything stateside. And I was like, oh. And then a month afterwards, it was available on panel bound comics for about 3.5 weeks for $100 less than the backers paid for it.
Have you been following the new Transformers run that was it Sky's doing, or what do they call it?
Bound.
Skyland?
I read
Or
like
Skybound,
the first. I read like the first few issues, and it's been good. But they've been doing some. They like remember when Claremont killed Jean Grey during the Dark Phoenix saga,
Yeah, yeah.
and we all cried like little bitches because we were teenagers. No, not the redhead. Well, in issue 30 that just came out, you can call him Optimus, but you can no longer call him Prime.
Yeah, I have that one, and I read it today. I picked it up today at the comic shop because I went down there to St. Helens to do a run, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It's kind of like taking the powers away from Optimus and seeing how well he can handle it on his own. And then also the other one, it was her name, Elita, seeing how well she can handle the matrix of power and the responsibility that comes along with that. So it'll be interesting to see how that kind of goes out. At first, I was kind of a little bit like, but at the same time, though, I'm like, I'll give it a shot and see how well they do it. I'm kind of apprehensive a bit. I really loved the first, what was it, 4 volumes of the run until Kirkman and Mora took over. And then Dan Mora's artwork has been beautiful. But storyline wise, it's a little bit of a different pace than what Daniel Warren Johnson was doing with the first 4 volumes.
Yeah, I had looked and came real close to buying like a couple of the hardcovers.
Yeah,
from the early portion, because it was like $40 before the discount at panel bound, and so like $35, something like that. And it's like 12 issues, and it's a hardcover. I go, maybe.
yeah. Artwork's gorgeous. I'll give it that. I love Daniel Warren Johnson. And then Jorge, what was his name? Jorge Jimenez. It was not Jimenez. I can't remember the name of the artist that took over, but he did a really good job too. But Daniel Warren Johnson's artwork, all the other bullshit aside, is on his Twitter. But he's an amazing artist. I love his shit.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. But yeah, I try to keep up with it, and I know I've got so many people that we follow each other on the talkage there, and they're all like wicked, like Transformer nuts.
Yeah.
Like one guy calls himself I don't know if you've seen him, 80s kid.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, he's like insane. I didn't even know he bought comic books till like 2 weeks ago. And then he shows like his back room and goes, yeah, I gotta organize. I go, wow, you have comics too? He goes, yeah. I go, there's no fucking way you're married. He goes, I'm not. I go, I know. You've got 4 full rooms of toys. It looks like a museum.
Oh yeah, you can definitely tell I'm single when you walk around my apartment.
I'm about to be. We broke up and she's just gonna move her stuff out so I can move stuff around again.
Yeah.
So how's Global Comics treating you for views and everything?
Not terrible. It's like being a needle in a stack of needles because there's a lot of indie comic books on there.
Yep.
But I do appreciate having the platform. I read a lot of comic books off of there myself. I do review shows with a guy named Dingus Den, and we went through all of the Transformer volumes, and they're all on. The first four are on Global Comics, and I read the GI Joe stuff, the Cobra Commander, the Destro, and the Scarlet one shots on there too, and it's a really steady, it's a really good app. I think the Comicology guided view was a little bit better, and I haven't figured out how to create the guided view for my own work because you actually could do it yourself on picking how the panels move. I haven't been able to figure that out yet or spent the time to do it. But like Sig and Joe, I think I'm at like issue 1 has 700 views, issue 3's 240, issue 4 is 226. It's not much money wise. It's like I'll get like a thing in the month that says, hey, you made 75 cents this month or something along those lines. But I just like having them out there. It's a good place to host them. And for $6 a month, you really can't beat the access to not only all the indies, but I think every major publisher is on there now. Now that Marvel's on there, I think everyone is on there now.
Like when I saw when I heard the announcement for Infernal Hulk from Marvel, and then found out that, oh, this is just a continuation of the 30-run Hulk series that I did back in 2023. And how your devices, they're definitely not listening to you. When I opened up the app, and guess what was there? The omnibus for that, but you could only read like the first 12 issues, and then they want you to pay them $5 a pop for all the remaining issues. I'm like, Marvel. I go, I'd rather just buy the omnibus.
Yeah.
You're like, well, the omnibus actually hasn't been released yet.
See, Marvel irritates the shit out of me. I mean, DC has been doing this beautiful thing with the DC compacts. They have a lot more available to read. If you're a subscribed member to Global Comics, you have a lot more stuff you can read on there. Marvel is always trying to drain more money out of us, and they just don't want people to. It's like even when people are willing to pay, it's like I want this omnibus or I want the Claremont work or along those lines. Marvel's not doing reprints of that stuff. Marvel's not going out there and saying here's a $10 graphic novel series like what DC's done. I mean, they try to do their premiere thing, but they charge $15 for it, and it's like, you guys have a massive problem with you lost 2 generations of kids because you catered to collectors, and now at least DC's trying. They're trying their dollar store. They're doing DC compacts. They've got a bunch of stuff on Global Comics. They're advertising their movies, and at the end of the trailer, it's like, check out these graphic novels to kind of catch up to what we're doing in the book. They're actually paying for top of the line creators in their regular stuff. DCKO is actually pretty decent. And Marvel just, I don't know if they need to get a new editorial or what the deal is, but they are just stuck in this kind of collector market only. We don't,
they're both less in the same boat with trash editors.
Yeah.
And the problem is most of their editors are activists.
Well, yeah, it's a huge problem.
Yeah, they've never worked in comics. They just want to, push their agenda and, do this, that, and the other thing. And I'm like, we just want good stories again.
Yeah. Like the Absolute line. I absolutely adore the Absolute books. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Flash, Martian Manhunter, Green Lantern. I've been reading those issue to issue every week that they come out. I think that's a great step in the right direction. I thought Ultimate Spider-Man was really, really, really good. But there is a lot of bullshit that they're still doing. And it's just like, you guys, how much do you have to fail before you have to correct course? Or do you just fail until Paramount decides that they don't want to do DC Comics anymore? They just want the IPs. Could that happen? Could they be selling comic book IPs to like Image and saying, you guys publish Batman for a while and we're just going to worry about making Batman movies and TV series? I mean, it's I don't know, Disney especially, they've destroyed more IPs in the last like 10 years that you could study that at film school on the destruction of IPs. I mean, they've damn near killed Star Wars. Like, I don't even think The Mandalorian can save it. I don't even know if it can be saved, honestly. I mean, it's just dead.
Mandalorian lost me as soon as Disney pulled their crap and fired Gina Carano.
Yeah, they lost a lot of people. And that last season of Mandalorian was terrible. Absolutely terrible. It was the whole retaking of Mandalore happened in one episode. They just constantly contradicted themselves in the script the whole time. I mean, I could go on and on with how terrible that last season was. And even if the Mandalorian movie is amazing, it's not enough. You're going to have to come out with some really good stuff consistently to try to save this thing. But they lost the faith of a massive fan base. Like, I don't even know how well Doom's going to do. I hope it does good. I'm rooting for it. The Spider-Man trailer looked good today that popped out. I really enjoyed. I think that has the potential of being a good movie. But Doom's going to be like, I've heard some cases like it's already got a budget of like $1.2 billion. I mean, they're going to have to make $2 billion.
We can't make a good movie. We must have to bring RDJ back and pay him whatever he wants.
Yeah, Chris Evans is back. RDJ's back. They're bringing back the Fox X-Men. It's like just a nostalgia party for $2 billion.
Yeah, but the stuff that they're doing is like so dumb. Like, I've been loving the Infernal Hulk, but then a friend of mine who's all over all these platforms too, who's also a comic creator, Thomas Hull, who's his IP is Kingsville.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And he's had like lots of big name people on his channel, but when you got like 10,000 subscribers on YouTube, you can do that.
Yeah.
My subscriber count is just a little over my weight now. So
mine's at 148 as of today. I started off January of 2025. I was 5, so I've grown over a year now. I've raised it up to 148. So I'm doing actually pretty decent. It's almost like I'm almost like at 2 subs a month right now. So it's I'm actually pretty happy with it.
I stopped streaming like last October. I just got into like a rut, and my health went down, and personal things going on, and I'm like, oh, it was just.
YouTube is a grind, man. It is such a grind. You have to be at it every day, and it's just it's almost too much at times. Trying to keep track of everything.
I'll do this, and then I'll like download the audio and the video, and I'll upload the audio to Spotify, and it'll go out to all the other audio platforms, and then I'll put this on a couple other like video platforms, and then it'll get snagged by my Opus Clip account, and get a few like shorts to put those out there too, and I'll get some views, but I won't get once in a while I'll have a video that'll get like over 1,000 views, and I'm like, I'm happy like a little girl. So let's take a look at your global comics page.
Yeah. Yep. So here she is. I've got my 3 series that I have on here, or is my Sig and Joe, which is ongoing. This was the Ninja High School. The day I got kidnapped by the Yakuza while watching a movie with my ninja bodyguard girlfriend saved me, and how the squirrels saved Longview. These 2 here are free to read. So if anyone comes on Global Comic Books, they can read them. And the first issue of Sig and Joe is free to read, all 41 pages of it. And then if you have to become a member to read the other issues.
I can do that. I'm a member.
And then, this is the Ninja High School one that I did. And yeah.
Ninja.
How the squirrels saved Longview. This one was a lot of fun to do. I only plan to do it as a one-shot, but it's done so well, and people have buzzed about it so much. I'm making a full version of it now, a full graphic novel, because I've sold more copies of the 17-page one-shot than I have of Sig and Joe altogether, with two issues in print and the graphic novel. So the Squirrel book has been extremely popular. So it almost was like a little 17-page test audience deal. And now I'm going to turn it into a full setup.
Crazy. You basically released an ash can.
Yeah, pretty much. And it was ash can to kind of test the waters, and people really, really, really liked it. And it was even, I thought maybe it was just because Longview is the town I live in. So I thought maybe it was just because it was local, but then I've taken it elsewhere and online. People have been really buzzed about it. The squirrels that saved the town of Longview from an insectoid alien invasion in our state park, our little city park. So I've been redesigning all of the bugs. I've been adding more characters. The characters don't have any speaking lines in this one. I've added more speaking lines for them and the whole deal. And it's been a lot of fun putting it together. But yeah, this one has been a lot of fun to do. And it's nice having a PG-13 book to put out, because then you can get to more, kids and stuff along those lines. It's hard to get kids to buy a book about a cigarette and a coffee cup fighting robots while cussing. So this one has been more of like an all ages kind of story for them.
I think it's selling a lot to like ADHD people. Ooh, squirrel.
A lot of dogs love it. Been a big dog fan. Yeah, this is a humble little page right here. I mean, I got 15 followers, been adding on to there slowly. I try to advertise as much as I can on Global Comics, but like I said, it's you're like a needle in a stack of needles, so it's kind of hard to differentiate yourself and to get seen in this. And plus, so one con I'll say about Global Comics is their search engine is not the best in the world. You have to be specific. Perfect. It's specific to pull up your book. And if you don't, like, I was trying to look up Transformers on there, and I had to go through Image to find Transformers. Like, I couldn't just put in Transformers and have it pop up. So it's one of those things they got to work on that. But overall, though, I've been very impressed with how Global Comics is operated. And I'll be putting out I've got the Squirrel book. I'm going to be breaking it up into issues, and I'll be putting out the issues on Global Comics. And then once I get all of the issues done, I'll print it out in one graphic novel. but I've kind of changed the way I make comics now. In the fact, the way is I have all of the issues figured out, and as I'm working on them, as I'm getting issue 1 ready to be put on Global Comics, I'm also already knee deep into issue 2, and it's going to be a lot quicker that way. It's just getting my workflow into a much more faster than it has been, because it took me, like, if you look at the releases here, I released the issue 4 December 21st 2025. Issue 3 was July 9th 2025, and then issue 2 though was in June, but then issue 1 was in 2024. So it's been some gaps, but I'm getting quicker. Like I had made this one between issues 3 and 4. So I did a 31-page comic book and then went back and finished up issue 4, and I got all of these out in 1 year. So I was very happy with how fast I'm getting work-wise. But it's just all about improving. It's one thing, if you buy the graphic novel, you'll get to see issue 1 and then compare it with the artwork of issue 4 and the writing, and you can see how much I've grown as a creator from that time period. And then the Squirrel book will be the same thing. I have a philosophy: every book, every page, every panel is better than the last one. And I work really hard on trying to improve, and I'm very critical of myself. I try to ask a lot of people to give me, to critiques along those lines so I can improve. I study a lot of the pros, both in manga and in Western, just trying to become a better comic book artist and be a better writer and overall. So, but yeah, it's been a lot of work, but a lot of fun. I mean, this has been a crazy journey since 2016 till now. I was only planning to try to do 1 issue and see if I could just do it. Now I have 4 issues of 1 book done, and it's some of these issues, like issue 4, it's like 76 pages, so technically it's like 3 issues of regular floppies worth of work. So I've actually probably done closer to like 7 floppies worth of comic books for Sig and Joe, if I broke them up in like the 24-page format kind of deal. So it's been a journey, man, from those days when we were doing silly voices for issue 1 to getting to here now. It's been a lot of learning, a lot of hardships, a lot of fun, and a lot of pain at times. Learning about how to deal with the comic book creator community, how different the creator community is from the reader community. Dealing with all of the narcissism and personalities. It's been crazy. Crazy adventure to make comic books. Like, sometimes I just shake my head. It's like, do these guys realize that we're just making comic books? Like, why is there so much drama?
Some of them, like one of the biggest things where Marvel keeps shooting themselves in the foot is they think by pissing off their readership that they're going to keep coming back and just keep buying stuff. And it's like, you do realize that DC has been whipping your ass for the first time in like 50 years.
Oh, yeah. Like, sizably these last couple of years. I
had some guy who wanted to argue with me because he goes, no, Absolute isn't the regular ongoing stuff. So you take Absolute out and Marvel still wins. I go, no, if you take Absolute out, then manga is still burying Marvel again.
Well, just look at the graphic novel charts for the year. The top 10 sold graphic novels, Court of Owls DC Compact was in the top 10 from the day it got published all the way up until probably present. You'd see maybe Ultimate Spider-Man in there, Volume 1, and I think Ultimate Wolverine was doing pretty good. But for the most part, it's DC, DC, DC. If you look at the top 20 comic books month to month, it's Absolute, it's Batman Immortal, it's all of this other stuff, and then Marvel's barely there, and it's just
The thing too is they're not doing. They used to do the sales figures. They don't do them anymore.
Yeah,
because they don't want anybody knowing how shit they are now.
How bad it is. I mean,
yeah,
it's like if you get a Marvel series to go in past issue 10 anymore, you're lucky.
Issue 5.
Yeah.
They came out the other year and they said it used to be this back in the day, but now we can tell in 10 issues. You can tell in less than a year. You don't even have the numbers back for like the first 6 months.
Yeah.
Well, we can tell if it's going to be any good in 10 issues. And now they're canceling books in 5 issues.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean,
CB is terrible. Chip's nothing to write home about. He's done a couple of good things here and there, but when he writes a good story, it's just a decent one.
Yeah.
It's nothing great. And they just put him at the head of the table.
Yeah, I don't. It's weird how you could fail and be promoted in Marvel.
Yeah. Marvel, it's fail your way to the top because we're not giving anybody raises. We're not paying you. They don't want to pay any artist what they're actually worth, which is why so many of them are like, yeah, well, I'll see. I just put this on my Substack, and now I've got 8,000 people that want to buy the book. So
yeah,
I'll talk to you later. DC's actually paying their people. Not great, but they're paying them.
Marvel's never recovered from the Image exodus. It's like that still. They're like a cheated on ex-girlfriend, like that a lady got cheated on. It's like they do not want superstar artists. They do not want superstar writers. They don't appreciate artists or writers. They're like, no, we're bigger than anything or any name or any person. When they should be like, hey, Mark Millar, come help us right the ship. Why aren't they trying to pry Scott Snyder away from DC? There's, you see him like brought over Greg Capullo to do like a Wolverine one shot and stuff along those lines. But it's like, now you guys got to pay for quality, and you just can't throw anybody in there and expect because it's Spider-Man to do good.
The crossover stuff they're doing with DC now, where they'll pay somebody to show up and do that one tiny job,
Yeah.
Where so and so's doing the book. This writer and artist are doing the crossover for us. But then we've got like all these other piddling things that are like, 1 or 2 pages and, filler stuff with other characters and that nobody cares about. And I'm like, and they'll pay for that. But they're just afraid that, they're going to start doing numbers and then, they're not going to pay them. And then they're just going to, get up and skedoodle to, brighter pastures.
Yeah. So instead, you got some weird politically motivated person with purple hair in there, and they're writing about turning X-Men into transgenders or whatever. It's just like, we need to focus back on writing good stories. That's what the Absolute.
Well, Kelly sued a comic. Yeah.
Yeah. We need to work on having writers and artist teams that are based upon what's the best. Like there are writers have certain niches they're good at, and so do artists. Start making that better team ups and better setups. It's just
they're doing they're following everything through their emotional instability instead of logically. This is the character. When they used to hire people, even back in like the 80s and 90s, they had to be educated on the characters. Like, okay, but you're not going to start doing this book for 6 months. You've got 6 months, and here's your reading stack, so you
Yeah.
get an understanding of the character. So you know how to, write that character, or how to, express that character in pictures, and so on and so forth. And now it's like, nope, I'm just going to make them the way I want them to be.
Yeah, we're just gonna throw piss on canon. We're just gonna, and don't get me wrong, canon is a very, it's almost like having a weight around your neck, like with Batman when a character's 90 years old
Oh
and
yeah.
you're trying to write new stories for a 90-year-old character. But at the same time, though, it's like you could be like Snyder, who can create a story and he picks out of canon and actually makes a story that you can appreciate. Like there are good writers out there, there are good artists out there, but they're just not getting a shot that they deserve, and they're not getting a chance to breathe. I think Marvel spends way too much time on joined events. I think that they should cut down the number of books they're putting out. I think they should work on self-contained stories that kind of fit in the universe, but we don't have to have a different monster event like every 3 months. I think they should have more self-contained stories. Like I've been reading the Spider-Man Wolverine's book by Carrie Andrews. It's amazing. It's flipping awesome. The artwork's great. It has that old school feel about it. The writing's good. It's a fun story in a self-contained deal that it's like, we need more of that than we do what's the next big Venom event, or what's the next big, let's rewrite Thor's history and give him some kind of fairy mother who's now back to like, whatever bullshit that they're doing. It's like, no, let's get back to self-contained stories that are fun and that just kind of like, this is a week in Wolverine's life where he, went to the Savage Land. Let's have a good story based on that. Or, the X-Men go to Japan or something. I mean, there's stuff that they can do without having everything be so interconnected and also so fucking confusing, where like, I don't want to have to buy 86 books to figure out what's going on in X-Men,
For so many years now, it's ridiculous. I had heard like all these good things about like Powers of X, and the other one that he did. It's like, oh, this could be good. This could be good. And I'm starting to hear good things. I start buying a couple of back issues here and there. And then I hear about the gala. And I'm like, the what? Wait a minute. So the group that almost killed the entire team during the Claremont run. Now you're going to go to Fashion Week, put on Kramer's poofy shirt from Seinfeld, and go to a fancy, why the hell am I wearing this dinner?
Yeah. Well, there wasn't even any action, was there? I think it was just the whole issue was like just a gala, right? I mean, yeah.
It was.
No.
I'm like,
I want the Sentinels to show up, or Magneto with the Brotherhood, just effing shit up, and then let's go into a full storyline where, yeah, sure, it was supposed to be a gala, but then the gala turned into a shit show, and then we get to see a bunch of cool action. Where Wolverine rips his suit off and starts fighting, Sabretooth or something along those lines.
No. It's gonna be ridiculous stuff. It almost seems like there's a bunch of 4 and 5-year-olds writing the plot summaries.
Yeah, it's definitely like, okay, so this is what happens when you have someone who's never read comic books try to write a comic book.
Yep.
And that person on top of that is extremely politically motivated. So now we get 10 pages of some random new character explaining to Tony Stark how he's an asshole for not using his money in more of altruistic ways. Or we get the crap like some random character telling Spider-Man that with great power doesn't come great responsibility. That's ridiculous because people with great power aren't very responsible. And it's just like, you guys have no idea or understand these characters. And instead of going and just creating new characters and then having something that they could just like create your new teams, new characters, instead, you're going to come in and just try to change, warp, and fuck with these canonized characters that everybody loves. You know, it's annoying. Not everything Marvel DC's doing is bad, but there is still a lot of bad. I feel like DC's learned its lesson a little bit more. You're starting to see more straight down the line stuff, like Immortal Batman is pretty good. The regular Batman run, it's not great. But you're not seeing as much of the political stuff, or I don't call it political, I call it propaganda. Comic books have always had politics, but then when you get into one-sided politics, that's when you get into propaganda. It's no longer politics. Like Stan Lee knew how to write politics. These guys don't know. They just write propaganda that's based upon a one-sided worldview where it's like, well, no, this is what reflecting our reality. No, this is what's reflecting your opinion of the reality. So now it's propaganda. You know, instead of telling me a story where I get to make the decision of what's going on, you're going to instead preach to me. And then as soon as I say anything negative about it, you're going to call me names to either gaslight me away from the series or to get me to shut up and keep reading the series. And it's just, it doesn't work. It didn't work in the movies. It didn't work in the TV. It hasn't worked anywhere in entertainment. And Marvel still hangs on to this shit like it's like they don't understand. It's like, what's the definition of insanity? It's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. At least DC's kind of like, we got to do something or we're going to get the doors shut on us.
Marvel is always offended, but never accountable.
Yeah, exactly. Even with the showrunners of Daredevil, they're like, well, Wilson Fisk in the new season is going to be like Donald Trump, and he's going to have his Gestapo private police force, which is essentially like ICE, and it's reflecting what's going on in the real world. It's like, no, this is CNN propaganda. This is not reflecting into the real world. You've just turned a person you don't like and hate into a villain, like they did with The Boys. Like The Boys was a really great series, a live action show, and then it's like, well, Homelander is Trump, and we're going to play Trump's Homelander supporters like MAGA hat Trump supporters, and then the show just becomes terribly one-sided. Instead of making fun of all sides and letting us pick, which that's what The Boys kind of is. It's like a commentary on how superheroes would be in the real world. And what started off as the first 2-3 seasons were great. Then season 4, it's just like, I don't want to be preached to like I'm watching something written by Rachel Maddow, or even like the other way either. I don't want it to go swing the other way. I want just good storylines. Like I don't care if there's gay characters in it. I don't care about any of that stuff. Just give me good storylines, and I can deal with a lot of this stuff. But when you start preaching at me and letting your own personal bias show through in your writing, it's like I'm instantly turned off. Like I don't want to see Daredevil season 2 now. It's like, you know, it just, no, Fisk isn't Trump. Fisk is a beast all his own, which is an interesting character. And if you're just going to dwindle him down to some TDS version of what you feel like the president is, then like I don't want to watch that shit. It's just because it's not real. It's no longer real life anymore. Real life has nuance to it, and there's nothing's black and white, and it just gets really old. I get really tired of it. I hoped more people would smarten up with all the money they've been losing. Some people have, But Disney is just so big that they could still risk losing a few more $1 billion before they really right the ship, you know?
They've been in the negative for so many years now. It's not even funny. Ever since
Yeah.
they've been losing money hand over fist just with their own streaming platform.
Yeah. And they just the what they've done, brand damage to Pixar, brand damage to Star Wars, Lucasfilm. They've ruined the Indiana Jones franchise. They destroyed the Willow franchise. Mm-hmm. Star Wars is, in my opinion, dead, and it has to be a complete reboot and with new leadership in order to fix it. And depending on how well Doomsday does for Marvel might be where Star Wars is at here in the next like 4 years. If Doom pulls it off and Secret Wars pulls it off, and then they go into the reboot where there's one timeline, no more multiverse, they can recast Iron Man and Captain America, bring in the X-Men, they might be able to right the ship. But if this doesn't work, this Hail Mary that they're doing with bringing RDJ back as Doom and all this, if this doesn't work, then they're going to be dead in the water like Star Wars.
To watch them, stomp their feet like a bunch of petulant children.
Yeah.
Because they don't get their way with every single thing. And, ruin an entire industry and, a legacy franchise like any of those.
Well, yeah, it used to be just putting Marvel before the film. Like even Miss Marvel, the first Captain Marvel movie or Miss Marvel movie was $890 some million, and it wasn't even a good movie. It used to be these things were close to $1 billion just because they were putting them out. They had so much good momentum. Now you get films like Thunderbolts, which I thought was pretty good, except for like maybe the last 10 minutes. I liked Fantastic Four. And I thought Ahsoka wasn't bad either. But all of those things did not do as well as they should have because people just don't have faith in the product anymore. Like, I don't even think it's superhero fatigue. I think it's just they've lost faith. Like, you have to spend money to go out to movie theaters. Things are tight right now, economy-wise. And if you're going to keep putting out garbage, a family's going to wait and watch Mario 2, and they're going to skip Fantastic Four and wait for it to become on video on demand or even for free on Disney Plus, if they have Disney Plus, because Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN cost an arm and a leg for that service too. So it's like, you're just shooting yourself in the foot over and over again. And like DC, depends on how well Gunn does, like how well Supergirl does, and Men of Tomorrow, Lanterns, and Clayface. They might be able to right the ship and turn it around. But even then, though, Superman, which was a critically acclaimed good film, audiences liked it. It had a really small drop-off per weekend. It did terrible overseas, though. So even good movies that people generally like, are not making as much money as they used to. And that's brand damage. That is just people just not wanting to spend money to go see a superhero film because superhero films have been so bad. So, yeah, I don't know how much the new normal might be about 500 million.
Yeah, I think Superman was okay, but I think the worst thing about Superman was Superman.
Yeah.
It shouldn't have been titled Superman. It should have been titled Mr. Terrific.
Yeah. And I think the storyline wise, going to so close to a real world conflict was not a wise idea. I think you need to keep it fantastical, especially if you're going with, like, there's a lot of elements of Superman there's like straight out of the comic book kind of deals, and that might have hurt it in some aspects storyline wise. But doing the political stuff, it did not resonate at all overseas. Like, overseas wise, it did terrible. And I don't think people want to see that kind of Russia, Ukraine, Israel, Palestine kind of stuff in their superhero movies. I I don't think they want to deal with that kind of stuff, or even the hint of it turns them away. And they don't want to. That's why I think Supergirl might do better, because it's a space adventure, so it probably will do better overseas, and I think it'll do decently on the state side. But it really hurts Superman to even inject the idea that there could be politics involved, and it doesn't work. You gotta stay away from it. Keep Superman fighting big robots and lizards and stuff like that. Cool. Superman dealing with political situations that mirror too closely to what's really going on. Not as cool at all. Not as cool at all.
It's supposed to be an escape, not a, hey, just imagine if we had real superheroes, what would happen in this instance? We don't want to know that.
No, we don't want to deal with that shit. Not with Superman. We want to have fun and be entertained. I'm already getting it in my sports, bombarded on the news. My Facebook feed's full of it, even though I keep blocking and saying I don't like this stuff. Twitter is full of the stuff. You get bombarded from all these different angles. And then now I've got to go and try to watch Daredevil with some kind of weird caricature from a TDS person that turned Wilson Fisk, which is a astounding villain, into some kind of caricature that looks like it was written by someone who writes for Metro Maddow. I don't want to see that. I don't want to see Superman dealing with someone who looks like a caricature of Netanyahu. I don't want to be around that shit. I want to see fantastical stories of good and evil, maybe a little bit of a message, maybe some laughs, some really kick-ass fight scenes, give me a good show. I want to be entertained. I want to escape. I don't want the stuff bombarding me. If you want to add in politics, do it very loosely. You don't have to be so ham-fisted with it to where it's like, really, like we're going to really play up the whole Russia Ukraine thing in Superman, like how he would deal with that. Like people are like, well, how would Batman deal with ICE? Batman wouldn't fucking deal with ICE because it's Batman. I don't want a Batman comic book where he's fighting police officers or federal agents over that. No, I want to see him fighting a giant crocodile and a comedian who trying to poison the city. I want to see him do that stuff. I don't want to see it all brought into the real world and stuff along those lines, especially not really well. Like you could bring it, if you want to bring it in the real world, great, but do it well. Write it well. Don't do it all ham-fisted like it was written by someone who moonlights at CNN or Fox News. It's annoying.
We don't want to hear that. We just want to, read a good story. And sadly for that, we have to go back outside of indie comics. In the mainstream, we have to go back like a good 40 years to read something.
Yeah. But if you want a good non-political story, read The Adventures of Sting and Joe on Global Comics.
Exactly. You can read it on Global Comics, and then you can follow Warren, and then you can get notified when the Kickstarter goes live, and you can.
And then after the Kickstarter, there'll be other ways to get them. I've been looking into possibly Amazon print on demand and playing around with some other different ones. Comic Wellspring has a print on demand deal now, and also too, if you follow my YouTube, I'm essentially drawing the Squirrel Book live on YouTube. So I've been going live a lot on there and doing the character designs. And when I start production on the pages, if I'm working on the book, I'll probably be live doing it. So you'll be able to watch the entire process of making a comic book from the first page pencils all the way to the lettering at the end of it. So if you're interested into that, have a good time, you can follow the YouTube channel, and I'll be doing pretty much all of the book live on there, so you can watch it being done. You can talk to me about it. You can ask me questions. I also, I do my daily shorts along those lines. But yeah, if you're interested in watching the process of making comic books, I have a really pretty cool, awesome comment section right now. Lots of cool people stopping by, and yeah, it's a fun time making them, and you'll be able to watch the whole thing on YouTube.
in Warren's link tree and mine too, but Warren's is more interesting because he's got comic books. I just read them.
Yeah, the link tree has my Discord, my Facebook, all my socials, my email. So if you want to get a hold of me through the link tree, also take you to my global comics page and the whole deal. And if you like reading comics digitally and you haven't yet, I seriously suggest checking out Global Comics. $6 a month. It's the best deal in Western comic books. Everyone's on there, all sorts of back catalog, plus an enormous selection of indie books on there. Pretty much, if you is indie creator that you've heard of, most likely they've got their book on indie comics or on Global Comics.
Some of them have even done the because you can read the book like normally, like flipping pages and read like you would if it was in front of you. But there's ways that some people do it where it goes panel to panel, so the page will like actually shift on your screen.
Yeah.
And the panel that you're reading will like highlight up, which is really cool. I'm like, ooh, this is nice.
Yeah. I still haven't figured out how to do it on mine, or I would, but yeah, people who have figured that out, it's really nice. I usually do all my reading digitally on my iPad because it's just nice big old screen for my old self. So
I can like not have I'm nearsighted, so I can't see the TV from my chair, but I can't keep my glasses on if I want to read.
I'm farsighted, so I have to have glasses to read. So
it's just sucks getting old, man.
I know, man. It's like the floor gets farther away every year. Everything starts hurting just to do basic shit. I can't walk without making a bunch of noise, like a bunch of like popcorn popping.
Just putting one leg on the floor from the bed in the morning.
Oh yeah. I can hurt myself sitting the wrong way, like just all sorts of weird shit.
My back sleeping.
Yeah.
What the hell?
I tell people when I hit 40, my warranty must have went out because it's just going downhill since then. I'm on BP meds now, and I have to diet and all sorts of shit.
I'm on so many meds I can't even comprehend it. Went from don't do drugs, you'll die, to do these drugs or you'll die.
Yeah, you need these to survive now.
Anyhow, it's been great catching up and shooting the crap with you and
yeah, always a pleasure. We'll have to do this more often than every like 5 years.
Yeah. Now that I'm back doing stuff and working on attempting to organize anything of my books, I'm looking to downsize my collection and get rid of like a whole bunch of titles and kind of like do some kind of trade in these books, but I want like hardcover collections and omnibuses instead.
Yeah,
they take up less space, and
they look
also,
nice on a shelf.
Yeah, they're also ideal for home defense.
Oh, that is, I never even thought about that. That's right, 100% true.
You hit somebody with I've got an Incredible Hulk omnibus sitting over on the shelf. And the next best thing from turning into Hulk and hitting somebody that breaks into your house is beating them between the eyes with a 40-pound novel.
That's right.
Warren's information is all in the description. And thanks everybody that was lurking, hanging out, and we'll be seeing clips of this afterwards or coming back to watch the show. Thanks everybody. Warren, awesome talking to you again.
Always a pleasure, man. Thank you for having me on, man.
All right, man. Have a great night, and we'll see everybody later.